In the small, remote town of Ravenswood, nestled between dense forests and shadowy mountains, strange occurrences were whispered about in hushed tones. One particularly eerie tale revolved around the old mansion at the edge of town. Its looming presence seemed to absorb the sunlight, casting an eternal gloom over its surroundings. I never believed the stories until that fateful night when I, against my better judgment, decided to explore the haunted mansion. The air grew colder as I approached the decaying structure. The mansion's windows, like empty eye sockets, stared into the night with an unsettling emptiness. Ignoring the unsettling feeling crawling up my spine, I pushed open the creaking door. The rusty hinges groaned in protest as I stepped into the abyss of darkness within. My flashlight flickered, casting elongated shadows that danced across the peeling wallpaper. Dust particles swirled in the air like lost souls, and the oppressive silence was shattered only by the sound of my hesitant footsteps. I wandered through the dimly lit halls, each step echoing like a distant heartbeat. As I explored further, I noticed peculiar symbols etched into the walls. Cryptic and ancient, they seemed to tell a story of long-forgotten rituals and dark secrets. A sense of foreboding enveloped me, and I hesitated, contemplating whether to turn back. Yet an unseen force compelled me to press on, deeper into the mansion's enigmatic depths. The atmosphere became increasingly oppressive as I descended a grand staircase that seemed to stretch endlessly into the abyss below. The air was thick with an otherworldly tension, and I felt an unseen presence watching my every move. My flashlight's feeble beam revealed portraits lining the walls, their eyes following me with an unnatural intensity. A door at the end of the hallway beckoned, emitting an ominous glow that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. As I opened it, a cold gust of wind rushed through, extinguishing my flashlight. Panic gripped me, but I pressed forward into the unknown, guided only by an ethereal glow. The room was adorned with ancient artifacts and relics, a macabre collection that hinted at a dark history. In the center stood an ancient book, its pages yellowed with age. As I approached, the room seemed to close in around me, the air growing thick with an unspoken dread. The book, bound in leathery skin, beckoned me to open its pages. I hesitated, but an unseen force compelled my hand. As the pages turned, whispers echoed through the room, speaking of a malevolent force trapped within the mansion's walls. It hungered for release, and its sinister power had drawn me into its web. The symbols on the walls pulsed with an eerie glow, resonating with the ominous chants emanating from the pages. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and a ghastly figure materialized before me. Its hollow eyes bore into my soul as it spoke in a chilling whisper, recounting tales of despair and suffering that echoed through the centuries. Paralyzed with fear, I listened as the entity revealed its intent to consume my very essence, binding me to the mansion for all eternity. Desperation clawed at my throat as I tried to flee, but an invisible force held me in place. Shadows danced around the room, converging into a suffocating darkness that enveloped me. The air grew thick with the stench of decay, and the walls seemed to close in, trapping me in a nightmarish embrace. In the final moments, as my consciousness waned, I heard the agonized wails of tortured souls echoing through the mansion. The malevolent force had claimed another victim, adding one more tale to the haunted history of Ravenswood. And as the last flicker of my existence faded away, the mansion stood in silent victory, its secrets buried within the echoes of despair.